Welcome to the Higher Energy Superpower. This is episode 39 of the Turbo Duo Cast. I am your host, Salvatore Mata, and to my left is my brother from another game show lover. He is the oral assassin. He puts the ass in classic gaming. It's Trenton E. Wright III, double Esquire.
Oh, it moved up to double?
It's Esquire.
What would be your favorite game show?
Not Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Not Legends of the Hidden Temple.
No,
okay.
My favorite game show is Double Dare.
Double Dare.
It's got to be.
Okay.
I mean, when you think about the fact that they play games, it's not a video game show, but
I meant game show. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you're right. No, you're good. You're right.
Okay. Like,
yeah.
All right.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
sir.
Double Dare.
Double Dare. Okay. Yeah.
Double Dare.
I really don't know, but like my first instinct went to actually. Okay, I'm going. My favorite as a kid was Guts.
Guts was good.
Yeah, everyone wanted that aggro crag piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
let's
a piece of the aggro crag.
It was almost like a combination between American Gladiators and sort of like a Double Dare, where they had like those.
Well, I mean that's kind of
obstacle courses that they had to do.
Teenage gladiators.
Yeah, Michael O'Malley got a lot of play.
Yeah, and Mo.
Play on the and Mo. Yeah, with her beret.
Yeah.
So they got a lot of play on Nickelodeon. He was so cool.
What an awful game.
Oh, the game Guts, yeah. Yeah. Well, just like in life, Trenton, games are a lot like people. There's a few winners and a whole lot of losers. To quote the great George Carlin.
Most definitely, bro. There's a few in this house.
Yes. Mostly the dogs. So this is actually our 39th episode, but this is the 40th episode that we've recorded that will be released,
so to speak.
We had to go out of order a little bit because you know
big things on the horizon.
Trenton, plans change.
Hey, he won over.
So this is our 39th episode chronologically, and a lot has happened since we recorded last, even if
not much has happened, it's still a lot.
Yeah. There's just so much. There's so much like that has happened. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a taste. So there's a lot that's happened, and then there's a lot that's coming up.
Going to happen.
So it's just, there's this palpitation that's happening right now. And then there's so much that I want to share with you guys, and just musings, pickups, things going on.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Well, I guess I got to temper myself a little bit. But honestly, on any one of these things I talk about, I could probably spend a whole episode.
No, I understand. We can go off, but maybe not too off today.
All right. Well, we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Focus, man.
It is because you know what? If we don't, we might just try to do too much and then miss some key details. The first thing I want to mention, Trent, because this is a conversational show.
Ooh, don't ask me.
And let me preface this with the people at home.
Preface.
We've mentioned a game on this podcast that we've been playing shortly. We only played it, I think, once when we talked about it, and we were kind of excited about it. But we've had a couple other sessions that we've been able to play together. And I wanted to get some of your perceptions on it, and I wanted to share with the people the joy of what it is. But I'm gonna start the question like this.
I almost feel like we should dedicate that to a show, but go ahead.
Maybe, I don't know. I want to talk about it now.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Zero Tolerance is a game for the Sega Genesis. And it's a game that can be played with 2 players on 2 different screens with 2 cartridges.
And 2 systems.
Kind of like a Time Crisis or
with
something
a cable.
like that. Right.
And only 2 people have done that.
Is that, considering that setup and how you're able to play, it's a first-person shooter, adventure sort of, clear out the levels, and, there's a few different bosses, and it's almost like you're on a mission.
Yeah, you're just blowing through guys, and then you get to the end of the level. And
there's level after level of creature, of it almost is like, corrupted soldiers, a lot of different
demons,
stuff.
Some robotic demons.
But my question is given the dynamic of 2 individuals playing together co-op, does that make Zero Tolerance? I can't believe I'm going to say this.
Here we go.
Does it make Zero Tolerance a top 10 Genesis game?
Co-opulating. top 10.
And I say that I say that seriously, and you guys might be laughing at home listening to me say that, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Unless you've actually played it 2-player together.
But maybe this can motivate some people because they do have now these aftermarket cords that you can get. You can find them, and I encourage you guys to do that or make one if you can't.
How would you
find
make one?
You can make one with two Genesis cords. You can make one.
Oh, and you just kind of
you splice them together.
Oh, so all it is just like an extension? Is that all it is?
Yeah, you cross the wires a certain way, so it tells you like this color goes to this one and this one goes to this one. So there's a way to do it, and I'm sure just you need some simple soldering skills to be able to put those wires together. But my point is, given that setup, if you play one player, it's kind of cool. It's like, wow, this is a first person shooter on the Genesis.
Yeah.
But when you involve a second person and you're like brothers in arms going through these levels and like one person's going one way, you can see each other on the map. I think it's got a decent setup for knowing where your friendly is and where the enemies are coming from. There's challenges with the Genesis color palette of knowing who's who, but all in all, like the music, right? The tension that you feel, like the atmosphere.
Yeah, sound is great on it.
I don't know. I'm kind of struggling because I'm in the moment with it and I'm feeling it like really good about it. But it really begs the question: is this a top 10 Genesis game given that setup?
Okay, I would only say maybe. I mean, I think of like when you say like a top 10 or your like favorite games. It's one where you can still play over and over again. I don't like if once we finally beat it, like I don't see like playing it again. Really, you know what I mean?
Is Snatcher a top 10 Sega CD game?
Well, I don't know. I haven't played it. I mean, I guess.
Well, but you're
I know what you're saying.
You're saying that in order to be a top 10 game,
well,
it has to be
personally for me.
replayable.
Like if I put my top 10 games in there, it's games that I will continue to play over and
you
over.
Go back and back
on that Sonic Streets of Rage level where you can just always play them over and over again. I mean, just even in 2023, we're still like this. This is incredible. Like playing a first person Genesis game together on 2 different screens. So I can only like at the time, like I wonder how that would have been. Of course, obviously that would have been even more difficult then because you can only get the cable if you got it and then sent away for it,
mailed away.
Yeah. I mean,
it's got to be it's got to be Accolade's best game.
for sure,
right?
Yeah. I mean, top 10. I mean, you thinking of like all the gems on the Genesis in a top 10.
Is it a top 25 game?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even. I'm just personally in a top 10. Probably not. With all of the like top tier games on the Genesis, but I wouldn't if someone put it in their top 10. After playing it, I would be like, yeah, I could see why.
Let me ask you this a different way: is it a must play?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, for sure. Well, it's only a must. I think it's only a. I mean,
I think it's a. I think
even single player. I was going to say with a caveat that it's a must play if you do 2-player.
I think it's a must player if you can do it 2-player.
But
But even as a single player game,
it's
great. It's not an expensive game, maybe $30. And I think it's an interesting enough sort of oddity in the way of it's not supposed to be on the Genesis. Like a game like that, it's not supposed to work on the Genesis.
Yeah.
And how like seamless it is, and the fact that it's just as seamless in 2-player co-op mode.
Yeah, there's no like
it's instantaneous.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It blows your mind, and it allows you to really immerse yourself in the experience. And the music really sets the tone, and it's got really good item placement. So just when you're like getting damaged maybe a little too much, there's a health box there or an extra weapon.
And you do have to do a little item management too. You can hold like 5 things at a time.
Right. So you have to make those decisions, and so and then you can get bum rushed by guys. There's the alarms going off. I mean,
there's a lot. Yeah, I mean,
there's TV screen, like pixelated TV screens
of like the news
on the wall. You shoot guys and they splatter up against it, like,
and their blood drips onto the wall.
I think it's like if this game was made today on a PC, it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be something I would even be talking about. But the fact that it's on the Sega Genesis and it was a contemporary game made in 1993 or 4, 1994, it just I can't say enough about the game and the experience that we're having on it. Like, it's like when you're in it, you're just like, I can't believe this is it, and it's amazing. Like, it's such an awesome experience. So I want to tell you guys, like, you're looking for a new experience on your classic console. It's like Zero Tolerance just gets better and better and better, and the more you play it, the more you're like, that's the experience I want to have. And it's simple enough. It's simple enough that you don't need to, like we've talked about all the time, you don't need to figure it out. Like we jumped into it after like a month and a half, and we just fell right into it.
Yeah. I mean, it's fairly decent length. I mean, we've maybe played it
halfway through.
I don't know but I'm saying we probably played 4 times maybe, and usually about an hour each time. Roughly.
Yeah. So it's probably like an 8-hour. It's probably like an 8-hour game,
which is that's pretty good. I mean, you could probably maybe you could fly through it in single player maybe a little bit quicker. I don't know.
But that's the thing, is like, you got to be methodical and you got to enter rooms slowly.
Yeah, you swarm this way. I'll go around the other way.
It's just, but it's Contra. It's a slower version of Contra, in first person or something. It's like that feeling of having two players, like Guerrilla War or like POW or one of those SNK running guns.
Yeah.
It's like that feeling that you got playing those games where you had your buddy with you and like, oh, you were about to get shot, but he saved you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's like that feeling of kind of going through like a war together. And so you get that similar feeling, but it's in a whole different genre, like not whole different, but like a very different play style, you know?
You're like, oh, there's a shotgun. How many shotgun shells?
Yeah, what do you got?
What do I have? You got 60.
Like,
you get that.
You're calling to your buddy down the room, like, hey man, what do you have? And
there's some shotgun shells up here. There's a health pack over there.
Right. It's got like, there's like several characters you can play as. You can change up your setup every time you start a new game, or you continue a game. You can pick a different soldier to play as. Yeah,
what's great. Yeah, the password system is like,
it's really good.
It's perfect because it some games, if you use a password system, brings you back and you don't really have all your items or anything. But this somehow it just. When you use the password, it keeps all your items you've had and your health and everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it works, but yeah, man, it is a really good game. So if you can find 2 copies, like loose, yeah, just to be able to do it 2-player.
Because here's the thing: nowadays, it's like getting a Genesis is nothing. Most of you guys have one, so if you can find a buddy, and it's really the person playing, the other person is the limiting factor now. It's not the equipment anymore.
Oh yeah,
it's just finding the equipment, the link cable is the only thing. But
what was that, like? I don't know, 20 or 30 bucks?
$30, I think. But it's the cable makes the experience. I mean, it's 100 times more valuable than the actual device. So anyways, I just wanted to show some love to Zero Tolerance because it really deserves it. And I was reading EGM like when it came out, just one of the magazines from back then, and it got a lot of adverts and stuff, a lot of advertisements, some like codes and stuff. And so I wasn't reading magazines back then, but I also don't remember this being like a major, huge game that people were playing.
I mean, no one had it. I didn't know anyone that had it. No, it wasn't. Yeah,
everybody was playing like 4 games.
Yeah,
it was Mortal Kombat. It was Sonic the Hedgehog,
Street Fighter
2. Right, and then maybe a sports game, World Series baseball.
Yeah,
everything else was just like
you just
random. Like, oh, you have different games.
You have X Mutants. What the hell's X Mutants?
Exactly. So it was that kind of a dynamic back then. But anyways, show some love to Zero Tolerance. It's a fantastic game. They did the developers. I don't even remember who the developers were for that, but
did Accolade just publish it?
I think so. I don't know if Accolade really ever made games, but
well, it's definitely to my knowledge, it's the best game they put their name on.
It's got a core design, sort of
feel
to it, like Battle Core almost.
Yeah. Well, actually, I might as well mention that. Just wanted to mention. Actually, that's funny because it's in. I just picked this up on the Evercade, the Pico Collection 3, and actually Zero Tolerance is one of the games on it.
Oh,
yeah. But can
you play? Can you link up?
I don't. As far as I know, you can't. Which would have been. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't. I mean, I don't know how you would do that. Maybe
a split screen.
Yeah, you can't do. It's not.
I'm just saying, like that's how you would do it. It's not as good. It's not as good of an experience.
Yeah, I mean, they'd have to like they'd have to like reprogram.
Yeah, they
would and do, or they could have. I mean, maybe they could have. You could, because I know you can use the handheld as a controller. So like maybe somehow someone could have used the screen on the handheld and that. But you'd be modifying something just for one game on a 10-game collection.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Cool, man. Well, yeah. So if you guys can find and track down 2 copies and get the cord, I got mine on eBay. It is Chinese. It's made from a Chinese company, but it's not like we have that many options, and I didn't see any that were being made here in the States. So, play it any way that you can.
And there's probably only like 25 of the actual ones.
Yeah. I don't even know. When I went on, there was, but they're probably making them to order, like as people are ordering them.
What do you mean?
Like whatever company that's making them.
No, I'm just saying the original ones, like the actual one. I said there's probably only like 25 in existence,
and they're probably over $100, I would think, to get one of those.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah. So the next thing I wanted to go into was a little level up for me that I want to talk about, which is exciting. And again, it's something that if you guys aren't doing it, that maybe it'll encourage you guys to get started. One of the things that we know is that these consoles that we have, they all are eventually going to break down, especially the CD based ones. And if you want to play on original hardware with original cartridges and CDs, you got to keep your systems up. And it only took me a decade, but I did buy a soldering iron about 10 years ago. And
you had it that long ago?
I did.
Oh wow!
I bought it at Sears, so that will tell you.
Oh yes. And why did you buy it back then? You were thinking about.
I was thinking about soldering back then.
Man, 10 years. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, a lot's happened in 10 years.
Surprised you still have it, like after 10 years.
I didn't want to let it go.
No, I understand. You were waiting for this specific moment.
Well, I just feel like now's the time. I don't know. It's like you were ready. Like Sal was in, my little guy was in swimming lessons today, and the last thing he was going to do for his swimming lesson was to jump in the deep end, and his instructor was going to catch him. So he's swimming, but he's not there yet as far as like jumping into the deep end. So it would have been his first time, and he's like, okay, 3, 2,
and he stood there.
1. I'm not ready.
Yeah.
And he did that probably 2 or 3 times, and then eventually he jumped in. So I jumped into the pool finally.
Except your 1, 2, 3 is 1, 2, 3. 10 years later.
I took a little bit longer than he did, so kudos to him. But yeah, I got started. I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just get the equipment and let's just ruin some stuff. Let's ruin some silicon boards.
Silicon boards.
And I didn't ruin anything. That was the thing. Is it's kind of hard to ruin a motherboard. You have to really crank it up and really leave a soldering iron on there for a while to ruin it.
Burn a hole through it.
And I said, well, the best way to start is just by practicing on something that isn't that valuable. And, if I screw it up, who cares? And so that's what I would say to do is get some small component that has those, you can see the capacitors that are like the little, the dowels of electrolytic fluid, and their
cylinder,
the little pieces. Cylinders that are soldered into motherboards. Take them out and put them back in, see if the thing still works. Or in this case, you had given me about 10 years ago a Genesis 2 that had a bad controller port.
Yeah.
Port.
The first controller port wasn't working.
Which you could live with a bad controller port 2, I guess. Yeah. It wouldn't be ideal. But the first one wasn't working. And so all I did is I just took some soldering wick and my soldering iron, put it to the points. I wicked up the solder.
Wicked it up.
I got the soldering, the actual solder, and you can look up techniques online on how to do it. And I just put it to each point, and what's called reflowing the solder, and fired it up. And what do you know? first player worked again.
And you're like, what's next? What's next?
So I just started to go off, and I said, okay, well, if I can fix that, why can't I fix something else? So the next thing I did was Super Nintendos. If you guys, you may have experienced this, their AC adapters tend to break right at the junction point, right where the cord flows into the box. Genesis controllers, not so much. They have other problems, but that cord right there breaks over time. And so the next thing I did, and we'll post pictures in this if we can. And I just basically opened up the box. It requires a special bit. Open it up. I cut off the cord a little bit lower, and I what's called tinned it. Put them up into the new. Took the old cord off. Put them into the holes. Soldered them back in, and fired it up. AC adapter works.
Hey.
Genesis one. I was like, okay, let me do a Genesis one. I have one that was it looked like
work.
There was like a voltage thing kind of going through, like a clear sort of waviness. I opened it up.
Oh, you mean when it still worked, but not?
Yeah, but it wasn't working well.
Giving full power.
So I opened it up. It's just filled with like electrolytic fluid, which smells disgusting. I'll save that for you guys. But I cleaned that up. I got some capacitors in that match it. Put the capacitor in. Soldered it up. No wavy line anymore. So it was like a bunch of these little things that I was able to kind of piece together.
And what's next is the
Game Gear. So next will be the Game Gear. So I'm ordering the cap kit for that, and that is, from what I understand, a pretty easy job. Again, it's just if all I ever know how to do is to replace capacitors, I'm probably okay. I can send the rest to Marcelo or something like that. But it's kind of a rewarding thing when you can kind of bring something back to life that was broken previously. And you can also save some money, because if you don't have to send it out to somebody, then you can save that cash that you would spend. And
zero tolerance.
I have zero tolerance for that. So if you guys have thought about modding, or you have an interest in that, or you have the time for it, it's a skill that it's not going to go to waste. And the other thing too is, I want to help the people that I know that have these consoles. If I can help them to fix them, then I'm gonna try to do that. Oh, the next thing I'm gonna do too is try to fix an NES power board, because it's
power like in the NES.
In the NES, yeah. So there's some capacitors in there that if they fail, there's like these clear wavy lines, and so
that's what you have.
I have one. It's down here. Yeah, I have one that I need to fix. So yeah, just find like little components that aren't really worth much or that are disposable, and just try on that and see if it works. And once you start doing it, it's like you get this confidence about you that you just want to keep going. And like I said, it's a fun little project. So I encourage you guys to look into getting into that stuff, because sometimes some people don't have a place to go, or these guys that can do it are so inundated now. I mean, you were talking about our guy and how he's so backed up.
It's got stacks on stacks on stacks.
And sometimes it's hard to get your stuff. I mean, you might eventually get it done, but it'll take a long time, and it's going to cost you.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think it's time for pickups, Trent, if we can do that.
Oh.
And then we'll talk about RWX after that. What do you think?
Yeah, I only have one.
Okay, very good. Well, why don't you do your one?
I got my one.
Why don't you
unless did I don't even remember if I mentioned it on the last one or not.
You did.
I did? All right, so I have none.
We'll talk a little bit more about the Pico collection, because I don't
really know. I mean, I just got it.
All you said was zero tolerance.
I mean, okay. I don't even really know anything about it.
Pico Interactive, is that the one that bought a bunch of properties, or are they?
Sure. I don't know.
Oh, 40 Winks. Isn't that a PlayStation game?
I have that one on PlayStation. I don't even know what's on here yet.
I didn't know that this could do PlayStation
Yeah,
games.
it goes up to 32 bits of power. Yeah, 40 Winks. That was one I picked up like a little while back. I didn't even really know anything about it, but it's supposed to be pretty solid. Another like a 3D action adventure kind of game. Obviously, zero tolerance is in here. Legend of Wukong. I'm not sure.
Is that a fighter?
No, it's an RPG.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know about any of these.
Were these all console games?
Supposedly. Stanley, The Search for Dr. Livingston.
Yeah, that was a classic.
It looks like it might have been a PC game. Sculptured Software made it in 92. Super Bubble Pop, which is like a 3D version of Puzzle Bobble in a way. It's puzzle fun with wild music and crazy bubble action.
So you haven't popped this in yet?
No, I literally just got it. Metal Mech, Man and Machine.
Oh.
Sure. Sculptured Software, again. I don't
So
know.
how many games came in this?
There's like 10.
And how much was the cart?
They're usually all $20. Radical Bikers looks not great.
So $2 a game.
Yeah, it depends on what. Some of them I'll have, if they're like bigger games, I'll have 2. Usually they're around like 5 to 10.
How many games on average do you think you find that you like when you get these collections for the Evercade? Like, let's say there's
I barely had time to play any of them.
Let's say 10, just because that'll make it easy. Out of every 10 games, how many do you like? You think about half?
Yeah, I was about to say probably like half. Yeah. Most of these ideas. The Radical Bikers, that doesn't look like it's anything great.
Is that Biker Mice from Mars?
No. Motor City Patrol. This looks like it might have been a PC game or something. Punch King.
Is that Ring King?
It's from 2002. It kind of looks like I have it on the Game Boy Advance. Counter Punch. Have you ever see that one? It's actually really good.
I haven't.
It's kind of like
Tough Man Contest.
No, it's like yeah, I guess, but it's still more like Punch Out for the Super Nintendo. It kind of looks like that, like really cartoony characters.
Yeah. Gabby J.
Oh, there you go. And the Sword of Sodan.
And
that's on here too.
The Sword.
Yeah, which I don't think is supposed to be great. Like, has huge characters, but not supposed to play great.
It's hard to
because the characters are so big.
Yeah, like it has a really unconventional control scheme where back doesn't turn you around to fight the person behind you. You have to hit like A to turn around,
spin around or whatever.
To spin around, and they're like massive characters that move really slowly. Although it's pretty gory. And then you also listen to the sound effects of PGA Tour Golf 2. Oh. Because the birds are chirping, and it's the same sound effect because it's made by Electronic Arts. So you're teeing off on the 4th hole and chopping off somebody's head.
Hacking and slashing.
Yeah. With golf clubs.
Yeah. So just another one to add to the collection of the Evercade. It's not so much about playing them, it's about getting all the games for it.
I understand.
That's kind of how the Evercade is.
I understand.
So they're up to like 40 games right now.
Cool.
And they got those Duke Nukem ones coming out, hopefully by the end of the year.
Oh, that's right. That classic system. Yeah. They really limited the release on that because I was ready to buy that.
The Super Nuke version of the console.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Can you stop shaking so much? My microphone is literally bouncing up and down.
Well, that's on you. You have it like almost onto the table.
Well, you're shaking. Somebody comment on this video and tell us if Trenton's shaking or not. So one of the pickups that I just grabbed, I'm known as the video game guy in my office. Like, people walk by my office and they
get out of here.
They see I've got a CRT in the office, and I've got a At Games Genesis, and I've got the what's the little arcade unit that you gave me? The little retro.
It's not. It was a Retrobit made it, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it. That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
We're gonna call it the Retro Chode. So we've got
I think that's what it's actually called.
We've got the Genesis, the At Games Genesis, and then this Chode thing that plays. It's a weird. It has like NES games, but then it has arcade games on it. Yeah. So I have those two, and I said, well, these are kind of cool, but a lot of the people that are in the office are maybe just a touch older than us. And so they more remember like the Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean that's what you need for the office when you're at work is you need more video games.
Yeah. So I said to myself, listen, I'm fickle. I'm very fickle. I've mentioned that before. And I'd like to like switch things out, but I don't want to have an NES at the office because it's like, first of all, it's big, and then you glance into that thing or you look at it wrong, it freezes. So I was like, you know what, can I find like a cheap, like just NES?
Oh yeah, they're like $15-$20 or whatever.
Just an NES, and Hyperkin makes one.
Yeah, the clone console. Yeah,
and this is the Retron 1 AV. It only does composite, which is fine. In fact, the At Games Genesis looks fine on a CRT. I'm not saying it's great, but it looks fine.
Like that basic one.
Just the basic one, not the HD one. Of course, when you take a console like this and you put it on a LED TV that's 55 inches.
Well, that's not what it's for.
So, on a CRT, this doesn't look bad. It's not exactly, the representation of what the NES is. And like I tested them, I compared the two. the sounds are a little bit different. The colors a little bit different.
I mean,
but it gets the job done.
Like when people like on the internet or on YouTube, when they critique them, they're coming at it as like a hardcore gamer. But these aren't for hardcore gamers. This is for someone who maybe they have some games laying around. They don't have a system, and they literally just want to be able to play the games, and they're not gonna notice the sound difference because they're not like putting like an original NES compared to that at the same time and checking each like sound effect. It's like they just want to play the games. You know?
I have nothing to say.
That's what it's for.
You're right.
Yeah.
So for me, I am a hardcore gamer, but it's not about that for me when I'm bringing it to my office.
You got your own whole setup here. You know?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's kind of cool to see Mario running across the screen while I'm at the office. I mean, how cool is that? You know,
you just in like a track mode basically.
Yeah. Just have it on, and then people walk by, and it's a conversation starter. You know, and it's you never know what can come from that. You know, but maybe it'll enlighten them to get one of these things and start playing some old cartridges.
Yeah,
or whatever.
What was it? Like $20, $15? Yeah, $15. I mean,
$15, and it comes with this controller, which is actually a pretty good controller. So this I forget what they call it, but it's got like these like bumps, like these bump outs on the back.
Oh, little kind of like grips in a way.
Yeah, I mean it's not great, but it's fine. I mean it works. It works pretty well. I used it.
It actually feels. I mean, compared
it's a little lighter than a regular system controller,
but the D-pad feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, this is like perfect.
You get a controller, you get a cord to hook it up.
Like an NES controller is going to cost you $10, $15
That's what I'm
anyway,
saying. So like I just think it's a real convenient little piece. I like that Hyper can put this out because it's an easy way for people to get back into this stuff, and maybe they do have an old TV and they want to set it up like that, So I don't know. To me, I think it's. I know you hate when I say this where you laugh, but I'm like it's like a cute little clone device, and if you have some cartridges, or you can go to a video game store. Nintendo cartridges aren't that expensive.
Yeah,
$5-10 or something like that.
If you're just trying a game and.
They're not looking for Mega Man 6,
an NES is, I don't know, could cost you $60-$70 maybe.
And then reliability is a problem for somebody who's not in the know, who just wants to go back and play their old games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Does it still have like the death grip on the games when you put them in?
I don't think so.
Because that was like the thing with the Retron 5.
Taking it in and out is fine. It's the controller itself, which is weird. The one that came with it is a little tight to get in, but the NES one is fine.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, geez, $15.
$15 for this whole thing. Like it's like how can you not? And again,
it really is a solid controller because, man,
I've heard people say that they've bought it
just to have a controller,
just for that controller, which I don't know if it's worth that. But
I mean, compared to like when I had the Retron 5, that controller that came with it was
god awful. Yeah, that's Hyperkin too, right?
Yeah.
I think they updated the Retron 5 now. Like they still sell it, and they updated it for I don't know. They added
firmware.
They added some support for it that you need a new one for more memory, and it does. I don't know if it does turbo games now or something. I forget what they.
Oh, I'm only familiar with they had the Master System attachment thing.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. I could be wrong about that, but they updated it for something. I don't know. Maybe more compatibility. I don't know.
I'm sure that's what it was.
So that was one little thing that I got. I also got another CRT. Go figure. Actually, I got 2 CRTs.
But you don't physically have the other one yet.
Yeah. I got this one over here. Well, I'll show a picture of it when we post. But my one of my clients lost her husband, and so she's doing a clean out, and so she had this little. This cute little Insignia.
Little guy.
It's a little 14-inch. It's called a 14 FTV. Go figure. It does S-Video.
Straight to the point.
It does S-Video. Works pretty well. Is it a PVM? No. But it's almost like I've been using it as like a testing bench.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what you should like.
That's what I've been using it
as.
If
you're able to maybe have like a little table.
So I'll post a picture here now too. I'm using this table.
Oh, really?
I had everything strewn like across this table. It looked like a whole workbench.
Yeah, it's like a good little TV just to test systems out.
And then be able to say, okay, is this working? Is this not working? What's the problem here?
Yeah.
So, and it does S-video, so you can do composite S-video or RF if you need to.
A little solid little piece.
Yeah, a little, nice little, and it's another excuse to get another CRT, So yeah, that was something else. That's the thing, guys. We could go on and on. I might want to save the other one until maybe it comes in.
What do you mean save
the other pickup? Talking about the other CRT.
Oh yeah. You have to wait till you actually get it.
Yeah. So there is another one coming in that we'll talk to you guys about. I was able to piece together. I love doing this. I had the back and front cover art for Parasite Eve and was able to find a manual in the discs.
Oh wow!
For I don't know, $40-something.
Oh, I'm not even familiar with what
the game goes for like double.
Okay.
So
you got it on eBay?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet.
Made a deal with somebody. Asked them politely, "Hey, would you mind selling it for this?" And they said yes.
I said yes.
So it's Parasite Eve. It's an action RPG. It's really kind of out there and weird from Squaresoft, but it's kind of like if I don't know, if like maybe a Final Fantasy met Resident Evil.
Oh, okay. Not turn based or.
Yeah, it's kind of like the battle is.
I remember hearing about it, but never really.
Yeah. I don't know much about it. I know I played it a little bit on the PS3 because I have like that version of it, or on the PSP. But what I played of it, I did like. I can't remember exactly how it was, but I said, this is a game I do want eventually. And I've just had these back and front cover arts for so long. And I was like, I may as well see if I can make a deal with somebody. And of course there was on there for the manual and the discs. Go figure, it's just like a Tetris piece.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you just had the case from?
So the case I got from our watering hole. Retro Games.
Our watering hole.
The cover arts I got from Game Exchange.
Oh wait, so
for $1.
So it was an empty case.
So I got the empty case from Retro Games.
Yeah.
I got the cover arts from Game Exchange for $1.
They just had the cover.
They just had them, and I was like, I like this game.
I'll come across it at some point.
Maybe I'll come across it at some time, and that was a year and a half ago.
Nice deal.
Yeah. So it's a way to get something a little bit cheaper. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about, and then we'll get into the show, is one of the things that creates a lot of nostalgia with retro game and retro game collecting is the fact that a lot of us were reading magazines back then. And for me, that magazine that I read the most of was Electronic Gaming Monthly. They were like, that was my subscription. It was like I felt like loyalty to EGM. Like I knew the reviewers there. Like they were just so cool.
Yeah, I mean that's one I had said. I don't remember if I ever had a subscription. Like I had the subscription to GamePro for a while, and then Game Informer. But for like EGM, I would buy it every month. I just never subscribed.
Yeah. So I kept every single magazine that I ever bought, and I had. At my parents' house, I had this Florida Oranges box. It was like a box like this tall, and it said Florida Oranges on it. I don't know where it came from, but it had a cap on top, almost like a lawyer's box or whatever.
Oh god, one of those old storage
yeah, but
things.
It was taller, and I thought it would be a fun idea to cut along the interior of one of the walls, so that I could put my magazines in and stack them up, and I could see
chronological order.
I could see what order they were in, and I loved these things. They were like encyclopedias, that you would kind of go back to or check on, or maybe they had codes, or you just wanted to read an old article or look at something, or there was just something inside you that said, I don't want to get rid of these. I feel like I'm going to want them later.
So that's how I felt. I had like all my Game Pros. I don't know what happened to them. Probably just got thrown out.
Well, now magazines have kind of blown up. So
at first it's weird. It was like Nintendo Power was
the ones
that people were like charging crazy money for, and then it just
now it's everything.
Yeah, now like like a year or two later, it started to trickle down to like Game Pro and EG. Like first issue Game Pro was like $100. It was like, really? That's where we're at now? We're paying like $15, $20 an issue just for regular issues.
Right, but there's so much nostalgia in these things.
No, I know.
There's so much like the advertisements.
I understand.
And, the gaming gossip that was going on.
No, I understand.
So yeah, tragically, my magazines were lost in a car fire.
I feel like you might be lying.
A dumpster fire, if I may. They were lost. Set them aflame, and there was
chaos. It was absolute chaos.
I think there was a CRT TV in there. That thing exploded in the middle of it, so it was even going back in there was not. It was a no-go. So all of my magazines got lost. They completely got lost and destroyed,
incinerated, and they blew up.
And you know, you go through life, and it's like, you know, you're trying to amass all the things that you had in your video game world as a kid, and it's like the games are the first thing you think of, right? You want to get those back, and then now I pretty much have. I mean, we'll talk about some of what we're looking for at the show, but I pretty much have everything that I know that I want. You know what I mean? And so
now it's the things I don't know I want. Right.
But as far as the magazines are concerned, that's always like it's more than nostalgia. It's like part of my identity, like those magazines that I don't have, you know? And so wanting to get those back is a part of who I am. I can remember, you know, this is one of them. I just got a bunch of them. And this one here is the most iconic for me. And this is the September 1999 issue. It's all orange, of course, because that was the month that the Dreamcast came out. And the energy around the Dreamcast was so large. It was such an exciting time. And I can remember myself, my parents own a bakery establishment and in the town that I lived in. And I remember our mail would go there. And so every day when I knew the day was coming up that my new EGM was coming, I would make that walk from the back all the way down to the mailbox and open that mailbox and just hoping and praying that there would be a new EGM there, because it was like you didn't have the internet the way it is today. And so all of that, like, these things were thick. I mean, look at this one here. I mean, this is from 94, but
yeah, those are the holiday issues, like in the spring, in the fall and winter.
When I see these are encyclopedias, I mean, these are time capsules.
Well, yeah, because half the issue is advertisements for games,
but that's half the fun.
Yeah,
and so I actually can remember the day I went down and this was finally in the mailbox, and you open it up and the whole mailbox was just like shining orange. Now, whether that's true or not, in my brain, it was shining orange because I saw this issue and
you can't not prove it.
No, and I was just, the energy was so palpable you could cut it with a knife. I couldn't, and every page I just agonized over. I just slowly opened up every page to see all of the new, like Dreamcast was the last time I really was blown away by graphics. And just seeing every page of every new game, and like Sonic Adventure, and he's actually making indentations in the sand when he's walking, and you're seeing this stuff, and it was just, I was so excited because I was such a Sega fan back then, and so I wanted to get my EGMs back, and I've actually gotten a ton of them back. I found a lot that had like 15 of them in there for, I think, $50, maybe 18 of them. I think it was 18, but I gave you 3 because I had doubles.
Yeah.
And so for like less than $3 a magazine, I was able to get like a ton of my collection. So I've got all of 1998 now. And so my years were like 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000 too. Not 2002, 2000 as well. And so those are the years that I'd like to kind of pick up, especially 97, 99 and 2000, which is a little bit later. I know you were getting magazines a little bit earlier than that. But the 32-bit era, it was kind of like, that's kind of like where I live.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I was really excited to kind of recapture some of that. And these magazines are cool, man. They're glossy still for the most part, and they've got just so much content in them. And you get the feeling of what was happening in time, like in the moment,
Yeah. And then reading the letter that people would like send
in. Letters, the pictures. Remember they would have the contest, the reader contests, and people would draw pictures.
Yeah. Some of them were just great. Like you read, someone was asking about like the 3DO. Then one of the editors was like, well, yeah, they have a lot of stuff coming out, and next year is going to be the year of the 3DO. And you're like, oof.
But that's so much fun to go back and read these, knowing what we know now and kind of going back. So I don't know. I think most of you guys probably feel the same way if you grew up around then. If you didn't, then, I would say pick up one of these magazines and just get a dose of the past. I don't know. they're just cool to have and cool to own. And of course they have like retromags.com where you can pull them up on a screen, but it's the same thing. It's like
emulating.
Yeah. It's like emulating a game. It's like, I can't feel the page, like I want to feel the page. I want to turn it, and there's like some inserts in there sometimes where you're not even expecting them and they're there, and then you're reading through that thing and it's like, oh, digital pictures insert. They're talking about Supreme Warrior. I can't wait to read every word. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for pickups for me, Trent.
We're all waiting for the Expo.
So now that brings us up to RWX. So I don't know how many years is this now that we've been going?
Was it 2014 or 2015 was the first one? One of those 2 years.
Oh, was it like the Oakdale or something like that?
Yeah, when it was in Wallingford. Yeah. It was either the 2014 or 2015. This
is actually, RWX is becoming like a more prominent show when it comes to like retro gaming.
Yeah.
You're hearing a lot of YouTubers start to talk about it now. Especially those that are, actually I wouldn't even say on the East Coast. You've got guys in California.
Yeah. They'll
Chris Alamo was there a couple of years ago.
The whole squad, pretty much most of the top gaming YouTubers, they were there last year.
Yeah, I think Retro Rick is going to be there. My Life in Gaming is going to be there. So Corey and Try are going to be there.
I think they had. I'm pretty sure like Metal Jesus was there last year. I believe so.
Oh, really?
And what's his name? RGT 85.
RGT was there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'd love to chat with him.
I don't know. I honestly didn't even look at, because like the panel, doesn't really interest me that much. Like,
well, Bob from Retro RGB is going to be there.
Oh, okay.
And then
you're trying to get his number.
Yeah, I love Bob, and then he's really good friends with Steve Nutter, who is from Retrotech, who does all the PVM repairs.
Oh, okay.
Out in Virginia. And so Steve's coming up because of his relationship with Bob.
He's gonna be there.
So like those are the
Big
two.
Steve.
Those are the two guys I want to chat with the most because of course we've gone into CRTs and PVMs and those guys know all about that stuff.
Rub shoulders with the celebrities, go to the after party.
It's exciting. It's exciting. Well, here, like honestly, you joke about celebrities, but I don't care about the Golden Globes, Trent. I don't care about the Oscars anymore.
The Golden Globes.
Like these are the people that I want to meet. These are the people that I care about. And they're real people. So. Yeah, I'm really excited to meet Steve. If you guys haven't checked out Retrotech, he's got all kinds of PVM and CRT videos, repair videos. He talks about them, he reviews them. So it's some of that CRT goodness. And then of course Bob does the CRT stuff, but he also talks about how what's the best way to set things up, mods. And so these are the resources that we have to kind of either keep our stuff going or make them even better. So those guys are going to be there. So there's going to be a lot going on in terms of personality.
It's a happening.
So that right there in and of itself, I'm excited to meet some of these guys. I would like to see if this year another person who's going to be there that we didn't think was going to be back, our good friend Tim Kitzrow, the voice of NBA Jam and NFL Blitz.
He's a big hit.
Yeah. I would like to see if he would throw up a spot to do our intro.
Yeah, I don't see why. There might be something you'd have to do later. I don't know. Who knows? He could.
Yeah.
Just because like so much noise and everything there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could make it work.
Yeah. So I'd like to talk with him and see if we can get that rolling. And I think that'd be good. We'd have just a canned intro to the show.
Solid.
Every time we do one. They're gonna have the wrestling there again, I think.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
So that should be fun.
Who was it going to be?
Little guy's favorite. He loves the wrestling, or as he calls it, ballet.
I think Gangrel was the one.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Poor guy. He can barely move.
The Brood.
Yeah, he's awesome. Just his whole persona. He doesn't even have to wrestle. Just come out with the whole get up.
Yeah, I don't even think he's right. I think he's just like, it's an appearance.
What's up, little man?
What do you want me to?
Huh? You want
ruining the show?
You're not ruining the show.
Can you not have the guitar though?
Yeah. Come and stand between us here. We're talking about the game show. You're just in time. We can talk about all your hopes, dreams, fears.
Yeah, but we have like.
Come on here and then you talk.
Show.
Huh?
We have like 6 days until the game show.
Isn't it exciting? Well, this is going to post probably in a shorter amount of time before the game show. So
tomorrow.
Yeah. Here, you want to sit on my lap?
Ow!
What?
My foot was right there.
Oh, shoot. I thought I got you in the nuts.
Going downhill.
Uh-oh. So,
Real fast.
So, Sal, you're just in time for us to talk about what we're looking for at the game show, what we're excited about. I talked about the guy from Retro Tech, you know, the one that I've watched, Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about him.
Your man's in them.
Is he at the show?
He's gonna be coming. He's gonna be coming to the show.
Didn't you see him a couple shows ago?
We haven't seen him before. And Tim Kitzrow's gonna be there again from NBA Jam.
Can he sign his picture again?
Sure, we can bring the same picture back and ask him to sign it.
Why would he sign it again?
We'll get a new picture. Maybe he'll have new pictures for us to sign, or for him to sign. Anything else like gaming related or kind of pickup related that you're looking forward to for the show, Trent?
Honestly, not really.
You're all about getting down to business, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we usually don't have much. After we're there, like looking for hours, we really don't have much time to do anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, if I always say I want to like to play some of the arcade games, but
I know
we never have the.
we always get caught up.
Do for like 20 minutes or whatever.
We always get caught up with the deals. We're like, oh man, maybe I could piece this together. What do you got? Are you buying something? Maybe we can get them for a few bucks less.
Yeah.
I think we'll have more time.
You kind of know what you're getting. I mean, we've been so many times. You kind of know, what you're getting.
I'm looking forward to the chicken fingers and the Bears barbecue afterwards.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's going to be any tournaments this year.
Oh yeah, no, it's all the same tournaments. No Mercy. I think there's a NHL 94. Yeah, it's like
you going to enter the No Mercy tournament again?
You mean that little one time I did 7 years ago?
You should though. You're really good at the game.
It's just you just don't know how long you're just gonna be there.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
you win once and then you wait around for hours and then you like play again and
right.
Then, yeah.
Right, and we got to get people home. We've got some ornery participants that sometimes. Although we're gonna have Jackson this year, right?
Yeah, we are.
All right, we're gonna have Sal's buddy joining us.
Is he gonna be in like the commercial break that we normally do?
What?
Or like the commercial break that we normally do?
Who's gonna be in it?
My friend.
We did a commercial break.
What?
Yeah, we did.
What do you mean he's gonna? Why?
Oh!
We did the commercial break.
Yeah, with the Fight for Life music. Remember we were playing that, and you were showing the footage of the show.
Yeah.
Oh! I didn't know what you were. I didn't understand. What you were
that's
asking.
what he means. That's what he means.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
I at least don't have my friend in a picture of it in the video.
Okay, now I gotcha. Yeah, most likely. Yeah.
All right, cool. I mean, I'm excited. I love all the aspects of it. I might want to get a little bit more like swaggy type stuff.
Oh, like we got that. I got the that Battletoads record, and you got like the Banjo Kazooie one. That was like literally like as we were leaving. Like, yeah, let's just get one.
I want to get more vinyl stickers for the controller box.
Oh,
I love
always people like selling like tons of stickers.
I love the Splatterhouse vinyl stickers because they're not going to go.
Wait, Dad, can you put it on like your water bottle or?
You could. I just want more stickers for the chest here.
Yeah.
Like, don't you have like
There's
a
always
toad
people with
one?
kinds
Like,
of
does like a
stickers.
snowman?
Snowman.
Yeah, but that's not a vinyl sticker. I don't think.
But it kind of.
It's got to be top quality, baby.
Yeah, we want a vinyl sticker that's not going to erode.
I like the skull.
All the Splatterhouse ones are fantastic. I love those. So it'd be cool to get some more stickers and throw them up.
I feel like there's always people like selling their like custom stickers that are obviously game related.
Yeah,
I feel like you could pick a few up for sure. Fish out.
I don't know, the one, just because we're so nitty gritty on our with us in terms of how we pick things up. So I love looking up with the guys that have like the loose manuals or like the loose cases, like that one guy had all the Super Nintendo and 64 cases.
Yeah, that's where. Oh no, I didn't. Did I end up getting?
Yeah, we got I got Revenge. Remember there was Revenge, and then there was something else that we picked up.
I don't remember if I got the Bond game.
Yeah,
the box for that one there.
I think you did. The World Is Not Enough, right?
I must have. Yeah.
Yeah. But like being able to piece together things like that, like retro shows like that,
I get excited for that.
They're a good place. They're a good place to do that. Of course, I want to get magazines, so like I'm going to be looking at. But again, if they're selling them for $15 a piece, I'm not going to buy them for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's probably what you're trying to piece a few more EGMs. Is what you're looking for.
When it gets down to it, if there's like a few that are harder to find, and I got to throw $15 to just finish it, then fine. but I'm trying to buy in bulk still. You know, I want to get like 5, 6 at a time if I can.
Yeah.
So you'd think I'd be able to get it for a better price than $15 a pop. But some people are just crazy and they want to get what they want to get for it.
Yeah.
One more thing I want to mention before we get to the games. I need to finish off my Nintendo 64 collection. I am missing a
Fire Red?
watermelon red.
A watermelon red.
I think it's watermelon red, right?
I thought it was fire red.
No, it's...
Yeah, don't we have like tangerine orange?
That's jungle green. There's
We have an orange one, though.
There's orange. There's smoke. There's the teal one.
So how many colors were there? 6?
I think 6. I have 5.
Okay.
No, Dad. I have the Pokemon one.
You have the Pikachu one, right?
No, he's just talking about the color.
The color one.
Yeah,
So I need the red one. So ideally, I could come away from the show with that. I think that should be pretty manageable.
All right. Is that one more?
No, it's not. It's
they're all around the same price.
Yeah, they're all around. I mean, the smoke one I think is a little bit more rare.
Okay. All right.
But they're all pretty much around the same, I think. So, and it's got to come with the controller. I can't get a loose console.
Can I tell them something that I beat?
Sure, go ahead. What'd you beat?
On my shirt. You're gonna laugh, and you're definitely gonna laugh.
What?
Because I talk about this on the show.
Tell the people.
This is a retro channel, but I don't talk about retro things.
Well, you're young.
Which is the problem.
You ain't young enough to be retro.
That's right. You're not,
True. That's
you ain't
very
old
true.
enough to be retro.
So what did you beat?
Five Nights at Freddy's 1.
Juan.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one's?
The first one.
Where you're just looking at the cameras and you're closing the doors and the animatronics are coming to try to get you.
Hadn't you already played through that one a long time ago? No.
No. The Security Breach is the one we played.
Oh.
I've only played 3 games.
FNAF.
It's a real fright fest. So
FNAF.
Sorry guys if I don't talk about retro things on this channel.
That's all good, man. So I've got mine split up in console.
Well, of course, that's how you got to do it.
Yeah. So do we want to start with like the oldest and then we'll work up to the most new stuff, or how do we want to do this?
The most newest.
Oh, I love that game.
Just mine happens. I just put NES games on mine at the top.
Do you have any Atari games?
Of course.
or Coleco games?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so I'll get started. I'll do the Atari stuff, and then you go to.
You're
NES.
really looking for Atari games?
I am. I'm looking for two. I'm looking for 2 Atari games.
Oh.
One of them is called Spitfire Attack, which is, I kid you not, a first-person flight action game where you're flying through and the whole like land is scrolling in. The effect is really convincing. It's actually incredible how they were able to do it. It's called Spitfire Attack.
Spitfire Attack. Huh?
Check out Spitfire Attack. So I would love to get Spitfire Attack. Think of like Afterburner, but sort of like open. You can go anywhere.
Just
play it. Check it out.
I just see the screenshot. Just green grass and a blue sky.
Yeah, but you gotta see it in action.
You're like, it's so sick. It's just green and blue.
I didn't say it was so sick.
No, I know,
it's a novelty, but do you have a picture?
I just see that. It's like, oh,
but
dude,
that's not telling. That's not scrolling. It's not scrolling at all, though.
I know, but it's just it makes it funnier when I say it this way, right?
I guess so. You're
is that like a
is that like a? I'm assuming that's an expensive game.
I don't know.
Just because
no, I don't think it's that expensive. Maybe 10,
there's like a
10,
flight
50
stick
bucks
for it. Jeez.
Yeah, so you can actually.
wild.
You should look at a video at some point. It's pretty impressive what they were able to do on that. I don't know when it came out.
From Milton Bradley too, huh?
My buddy Joe told me about it. I never heard of this game before.
And like, ooh, look at that flight commander stick for it.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
This is the other game you're talking about.
And then the other game I wanted to get, I had it when I was younger. It was Midnight Magic. It's a pinball game. It was a later generation when they kind of relaunched the Atari 2600.
Oh, it was less squares.
Yeah, it's a very competent pinball game. Like I used to have a lot of fun with it. So if it's if I could find it, check out Midnight Magic. That's another good one.
I just pictured the sound effects. It's like
even the 7800 game sounded like that.
What are you doing?
I'm doing the sound effects for the pinball game.
Go ahead. Let's finish off this episode. What else? What do you want for NES?
Finish it off.
What do you want for NES?
Pause.
I don't have any NES games.
None.
I don't have any 8-bit games.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. I got 5 that they're actually. Yeah, but they're not. Oh, except for one of them. I just put it on the list just to have it. Cobra Triangle on the NES.
Oh yeah,
like that kind of boat.
Spy Hunter, but in boats.
Yeah, I think rare.
Mm-hmm.
That was a rare game.
Yep.
And then I had Target Earth, which is a light gun game. My friend Johnny had it.
I think I have it. You can have it. I think I have a copy.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Double Dragon 3. I thought I had it, but I don't.
That's an NES game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I had because I actually just watched. You ever watch Patman Q?
Yes.
Yeah. He just did one on Tecmo World Wrestling. He actually said it was pretty good, so I just threw that on the list. And then at the top,
I have that as well. You can have it. I will never play those games.
Oh, and then at the top, which I threw on because I had it. I still want it, but I probably won't pay for it. Is Bucky O'Hare.
Oh,
that's still one I want.
How much is a loose cart?
I don't know.
$75?
No, it's like 150 or 200 probably.
Come on.
Yeah. 75. I wish.
Jeez.
I just have it there. I mean, I want day, but
it's
probably if I saw it, I probably still wouldn't get it, but
Yeah. Well, it is a great game. It's not only a great game, but it's also a mad rare game, as they say.
Yeah. And then the next would be the Genesis.
Okay, let's stay there because I've got Sega CD. I don't have any Genesis, but I have Sega CD.
Oh yeah, Genesis is pretty much the same. Largely this because a few of the same ones. Shinobi 3, I don't have.
Oh, that's a great game.
Yeah, still Jurassic World, that last Jurassic Park
The Lost
game.
World.
Yeah,
it's an impressive game.
Yeah, that B.O.B. Bob.
Oh, the robot.
Yeah,
is that
EA
good?
game. Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty decent.
What is it, like a platformer?
Yeah.
Oh.
Gargoyles.
Oh yeah, Gargoyles. Doesn't play on a Genesis 3.
It doesn't, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
No, it's got extra chips that weren't in the Genesis 3.
Jewel Master.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that shouldn't be too bad to find.
No, it's actually a fairly cheap.
I think there's like 6 copies at every stand.
Not really. No, it's supposed to be. You ever play it?
No.
Oh yeah.
It just looks like a throwaway puzzle game.
No, it's not a puzzle game.
It isn't?
No. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's just like an action game, side-scrolling action game.
Jewel Master.
Yeah.
That cover art does not do it justice.
It looks someone.
It's just a guy's hand with a thing, and like you see like a grid of jewels.
You collect like the different jewels for like power.
Wow, yeah, I didn't even know that.
You have to look it up.
I did not.
I saw someone do like a YouTube on it or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's why it's like no one really mentioned it because you think of it just like a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
And then another one, the last one I had on there was Phantom 2040.
Oh, okay. I've seen ads in like these magazines for it. These are like deep cuts.
Well, I mean, what else is left?
No, I get it.
I
get it. These are super deep cuts.
Yeah. I mean, Shinobi 3 is not a deep cut, but it's it's a little more expensive game.
Right. Well, it's definitely gone up there. Everything else.
Yeah.
It's not as hard as the other Shinobi games, I think. I think 3 is probably the most manageable in terms of just jumping in. So I want some Sega CD stuff, of course. I hope this is probably a good place for me to try to find one or both of these. And that's, if you remember, I was able to find the case and manual for 2 games, but not the discs. So Lunar Eternal Blue, which is the sequel, and Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, that's right.
If I can find the loose discs for those for a good price, you depend the price.
Yeah, I want they.
I want they. It depends what kinds of they. And that would be kind of a nice little score. And then
you should try that old the Willimanic math on them.
Do the Willimanic math?
No, someone's got like the loose disc, and you just bring. Hey, I got the case and the manual. I'll give you the case and manual.
Yeah.
And like you try to like trick them into like, I'll give you the case and manual, but you sell me that, and then give it back to me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, the Willimanic math would be, I have another game. He wants 80 for the disc, and I say, well, how about I just give you 80 for the disc and then you give me the game for free? Well, I can't do that. All right, how about I give you 60 for the game and then 20 for the thing that I'm holding? All right, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, the guy from the last intro?
That'll never get old.
The Funko Pop?
Yeah.
Because I wanted the Funko Pop.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Android Assault. It's like a shooter where you can turn into a mech.
Yeah, that's not a cheap one.
No, I know. I mean, most of these are not.
No, I know. Well, eventually it's going to turn into I need all the Sega CD games,
We'll see.
No, we are seeing.
Well, here's the thing: if somebody has Snatcher there, and they want,
no.
No tax though, no tax.
Sure.
What if somebody says, "Hey, I'll give it to you for it's you know"? But here's the thing: authentically, like, do I have to worry now? Did somebody mess around and is it not a real game? That's
you could easily.
That's the worry there. I always got Ryan in my back pocket, so I could always show him and just be like, "What do you think?" But crazier things have happened, so
that is true.
You never know. True. I may get a little silly. Do you want any Super Nintendo?
I do have a few.
I have one
that I just actually was just I think through maybe it was GameSack or one of the they'll just do those they'll just go through a bunch of Super Nintendo games and I saw some on there. So there was a couple I already had that I was looking for, but then I added Run Saber.
I've heard of that, but I can't.
They're all like side-scrolling games, and this almost sounds the same. But Sky Blazer,
I think I've heard of that one.
They look really good. And this one I remember seeing actually.
You're naming like 10 variations of the same game.
I'm naming American Gladiators is what I'm doing. We got Run Saber, Sky Blazer, and Street Racer.
Oh my!
Yeah, so I actually remember
Street Racer. Yeah,
it was in it was actually in the EGM magazine, which is
it looks cool behind the back.
It's like a Mario Kart game, and there's actually a 4-player mode in it, and there's like a 4-player like soccer game in it you can do. And then
you don't want to buy Mega Man Soccer, whatever Mega Man Soccer.
Nope, it's not on my list.
Oh, okay,
sorry.
And then any other supers?
Yeah, I had I don't know. I just put it on my list. If I saw it, I might not even still get it, but I still wanted to get a Super Double Dragon on the Super Nintendo.
Isn't that supposed to be bad?
No, it plays a little slow. It's on one of the Evercade collections I have.
Okay.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. It's not terrible. And then Jurassic Park 2 on the Super Nintendo, which is supposed to be pretty decent.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, it's
is it called The Lost World?
It's like Jurassic Park 2 something. It's like it's side scrolling, but it's definitely way better than like the first.
It's not digitized.
No. It was again one of those. I wasn't looking for it until I saw it. I think I actually saw it in the EGM magazine, and then I looked it up on like YouTube and saw like some footage of it, and it's supposed to be pretty decent.
Cool.
And then my next is I only have one game on the 64.
So I actually am looking for Super Nintendo. I would buy this loose. Super Mario RPG.
Oh yeah, that's a hitter.
I do want. I've been wanting that a long time, but again, now is the time where
it's like 100 right now.
I could reach for that game because all this other stuff is just we're reaching for all this stuff at this point because we have pretty much everything we want.
Yeah.
So in fact, the system that I want the most games for, ironically, is PS1.
Oh, PS1. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I don't have anything for PS1 or PS2 or
let me do my Saturn stuff and then you do your
Saturn stuff. What year is this? Did we finish this 3 years ago?
So the Saturn stuff is all import.
Oh geez, here we go.
Yeah. So I want Metal Slug. That's the number one game I want.
Really?
Yeah.
I want Metal
Slug on I want it on Saturn.
I want it on every system.
I want to dude, on Saturn, come on. Forget about it.
Sure. Is it worth it though?
Is that 2-player?
Yeah, Metal Slug?
That's 2-player, right? Yeah. Come on, 2-player with a Saturn controller? Forget about it.
I need the import version of
It's
Metal
not that
Slug.
bad. Dude, it's like $75. It's not bad.
That sounds like a lot for just a Metal Slug game. But hey, do you, man. Whatever you want to do.
Capcom Generations 2, which is the Arthur collection. So it's Ghouls and Ghosts, Ghosts and Goblins, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
And that's still an import, huh?
Yep. And that's $50, $60. And then Batsugan.
I know that one. No, I don't.
It's a top-down spaceship shooter.
Oh, of course it is.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for on the Saturn front.
Sure.
I don't know if any of these things are going to be there, but there's usually an import guy there.
No, I remember that one.
They had that huge wall. Remember they had that massive like enclosure that they built like right in the middle of the floor.
Yeah, was it Oh no, I was thinking the one in Wallingford originally, but that was I think those were like the Turbo like import games. Do you remember that one time? Was that Turbo?
He had Super Famicom.
Oh yeah,
had Neo Geo.
Yeah, there's usually at least one or two people that just like all they have is like import games for systems.
Maybe I could find it there.
Yeah,
make a deal, get all three. You never know. It gets silly.
Yeah.
So what do you got for 64?
Just one, Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil 2. You got to do it this year. If there's one game you end up with, it's got to be that.
Yeah, it's been on my list forever. Unfortunately, it just keeps getting higher and higher. You know.
I know.
But yeah, the thing is, it's like, I'd only wanted at this point like complete and like, you know, we'll see.
We'll see. We will see. Yeah. PS1. There's a few that I want. I would say, let me just give the two that I want the most. Go figure, they're both shooters. The first one is Einhander, which is a square shooter. It's a
that came out in the US.
Yeah, it's a 2.5D shooter. Mm-hmm. It's side scrolling, so it's like a horizontal shooter. Never heard of it?
No.
Oh yeah, they used to have it on display over at what's not Software Etc. What was the one on the ground floor of the Buckland Mall?
Babbage's?
No, not the other one. EB.
Electronics Boutique.
Yeah, they had it on over there. I remember playing it, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." But I didn't. Just back then, you didn't think anything of it. It was like, "Oh, okay, shooter game, nice." You know, I want Resident Evil.
Sounds expensive because I've never heard of it.
EINHANDER.
Yeah.
And then, of course, again, coming back again this year, if there's one game that I end up with, this is probably the one that I would want, and that is Raiden Project in the long case.
Oh. Why is that? Oh, an expensive one?
PS1, it comes with Raiden 1 and Raiden 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. So that or Spitfire Attack. You know, if I end up with either one of those, I'll be happy.
It'll be a good day.
You didn't think I was going to have Atari 2600 games on the list this year, did you?
Definitely not. I don't think anyone's looking for Atari 2600 games.
So I would say my list is not that extensive. It's not that large. I mean, of course, you never know. You see something that you weren't thinking about.
Yeah. Then the only other two games I had are for the Game Boy, which is I still wanted to get Turtles Back from the Sewers. Oh yeah, that was one I had.
That's supposed to be an expensive game, right?
No. That's like the third one. That one's really expensive.
Oh, okay.
And then Donkey Kong on the Game Boy.
Oh, Donkey Kong. Yeah, that if I saw that would be one that I'd be
interested in. It's like Super Game Boy enhanced too.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it has like levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that one's supposed to be really good. I would love to get
and then
that.
I mean, obviously, I don't really put them on the list as like Atari Lynx games. Obviously, like
anything,
I see,
anything you can find.
Yeah, and maybe some N-Gage games. Now that I have that.
Yeah.
And then maybe, I mean, obviously on the Jaguar,
I was gonna say, what
Atari
about
carts is, we're not doing that.
Not right now. Not right now.
We're not doing that. But Syndicate is still one I need, and that's not crazy expensive. Maybe between 50 and 70, depending.
How many more carts do you need?
Just those. Well, those two, and there's technically there's another the Sensible Soccer. It's called.
Oh yeah.
That's one, but I'm
Is that you need everything? You need the full get up.
Yeah. For those two games, and then obviously
no Sensible Soccer. You need.
Case I don't have it. I don't have that at all. And then obviously any loose manuals or boxes you can find for any games is always nice.
Digging through the boxes.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we will be back with you guys after the show. We will do our review of the show, kind of what we came away from in our perceptions and how the show went. I mean, usually it's a fun time. So we'll have our pickups. We'll have everything with us, and we'll be full of Bears barbecue by that point as well. So we'll be nice, fat, and happy.
Cornbread.
Thank you guys for listening, for joining us on this journey. There's definitely more to come. Thank you guys for listening and watching. Remember that everything that's good comes from above. Be safe, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it turbo.
Got a modern day Jeff Jarrett right here.